Okay, Questers, we are back on the boat. It is Saturday again, and we are back to work here. I have a bunch of bondoing yet to do in the aft head, and some sanding back there. And Jeanne is working in the forward head, putting some primer on and getting ready to paint in there. But before I get to the bondo, first things first, I did pick up some fuses for the pump that goes in that inline fuse holder. So we're gonna put a fuse in, see if that solves our bilge pump issue. I'm hoping that it does, so that I don't have to, troubleshoot further. But we'll see. I'll get the fuse in and then let you guys know how it goes. Okay, so I replaced the fuse. It goes into this fuse holder right here. You can see the black fuse holder right here. And it's in there, and when I lifted the float switch, which is you can see the two float switches there. One is on the left and one is on the right. When I lifted the right one, which is the upper one, the pump came on. So that problem is solved. So I have two bilge pumps connected to those two float switches for this bilge. The float switch on the left, the pump that it operates isn't pumping water. We had water in the bilge the other day. That activated, and the water level did not diminish. So I think the pump, the diaphragm and all that is probably just worn out. It's old. The pump looks old. So we're going to replace that pump. But this other pump seemed to be working okay. We actually heard it taking a suction, the gurgling, so I'm thinking that's probably going to be okay, that one. We can always test it by putting some water in the bilge, I suppose, and turning it on and see what happens. But for right now, I'm satisfied that at least that the fuse is in there and it's functioning, and the float switch is working, and the pump comes on. So that answers the question about the pumps, because now I know for sure that pump forward here, right there, that pump is in fact the shower sump pump for the forward head. And then those other two pumps were bilge pumps for the back, and the shower sump for the aft I found, and it works too. So that's where we are right now. So I guess now it's time to get to work bondoing.
What to do with my roller?
Oh yeah, Jeanne here, she's getting ready to put some more primer on the forward head, so she's getting ready. And she's complaining because her roller is missing.
Yeah, what do you do with my roller?
So let me go so I can...
It's not going to do it by itself.
No, it's not. Okay, everybody, this is an interesting event. There's a compartment here. As you can see, there's a hose right there. This is the vacuum hose. I'm sucking out some water out of there. What you're seeing right here is the top of the back side of the fresh water tank, and it's just dirty from all this dust and whatnot. But down in that cavity right there is a bilge, and it runs way down in there. You can't see. Alright, so we get some light on the subject here, and you can see that this goes way back in there, and yeah, it's just, whoops, it's a bilge that runs down into the keel. Anyway, I was trying to suck some water out of there, and there was an obstruction preventing me from getting the hose down in there, and I was like, what in the world is that? And so I got some light down in there on the subject, and I saw something, and I'm like, that looks like a camera. Sure enough, that camera right there, Nikon camera was lying in there. Somebody had dropped it. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if they were trying to take a picture of something down there or what, and they dropped the camera or whatever, but there it is. That's been down there. I don't know how many years that's been down there. But that took me I don't know, an hour at least to fish that out of there. You had a little set of grabbers that I was using. But anyway, so now that that's out of there, I can get back into the into that bilge a little bit better and suck some more water out of there. I don't know. I tell you what, I've been on the forums for Pearson 422, and I've seen a couple of things where they talked about this bilge that's right here in front of the sink, right there, and how it runs down into the keel, and the forward part of the keel is a void. And I'm thinking to myself, or the after part of the keel, I guess this would be the after part of the keel. No, maybe not. Maybe it is the forward part of the keel. The keel is yeah, maybe it's the after part, or maybe the forward part of the keel, whatever. Anyway, it's a it's a pretty deep hole, and I can't see all the way to the bottom of it, and my hose doesn't go all the way to the bottom of it, and so there's water in there, and I'm like, how do you get this water out? And there's no bilge pump installed bilge pump in the boat that reaches that. There is a bilge pump. There is a bilge hose that goes into that section, and it goes down, maybe a couple of inches, and that's it. So if it were to fill up with water, we could pump it out, but if there's water down the bottom of it, we can't get to that. So I don't know. Anyway, but I thought that was kind of crazy. That camera was lodged in there. It's amazing what you find in old boats. All right, well, here's the ferret out surface. Bondo, and I've started in here. Ooh, dark. Let's get some light. And started working in here, but I've run out of Bondo, so I need to get more. But yeah, this will be done pretty quickly. I noticed that there's a leak. You can see that right there. Right there. It's coming in from there, from above there. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna have to go outside and see what's right directly above this. But I have a feeling it's that stupid wooden strip out there. Also this port light leaks right there. But that's okay because this is solid. This is solid fiberglass, and so we'll just have to silicone up in there, and that'll take care of that. Anyway, that's where we're at. Well, hello Questers. That's about a wrap for this week. We were able to take care of a couple of things. We got the whole pump situation all figured out. I put that fuse in. That did in fact allow the lower float switch, or excuse me, the upper float switch to actuate the pump, and the pump came on. And even though there wasn't any water in the bilge, there was a little bit of water in the line, a little residual water in the line. Jeanne happened to be out here, and she said that that she could hear the gurgling and saw a little sputter of water come out. So we know that upper float switch actually does in fact turn a pump on, and that pump actually works, so that's good. We also know that the lower float switch actuates a pump. We know that the pump comes on, but it doesn't appear to pump any water, as we discovered when we had water in the bilge the other day and we tried to pump it out, and that pump, while it ran, didn't move any water. And that leaves us with the final mystery pump, which was the one in the main salon, under the floor in the main salon up near the forward head. And as it turns out, that in fact is the forward shower sump. So that pump is malfunctioning and needs to be replaced. So need to replace 2 pumps, and that'll get us good to go. Also, we're able to clear the obstruction in that forward that little bilge compartment area there in front of the sink. It goes way down. And as you saw, I pulled an old Nikon camera out of there. So just amazing what you find on an old boat. I don't know what they were doing. Maybe they were trying to take a picture or a video of something down there. I don't know. And then they lost the camera and couldn't get it. It was it was not salvageable. It was full of water. And who knows how long I've been down there in that greasy bilge water anyway. So anyway, we got that out of there, and I was able to suck out a good bit more water out of that forward bilge. I'm thinking that maybe some of the smell that's in the boat might be because some of that stagnant water that's been in there, I've been able to get it out. And unfortunately, there's no bilge pump that is connected to that section. And I was reading the forums, and they were talking about that there's this compartment with a little with a void that goes down by the keel, and it fills with water, and there's no bilge pump, and nobody knows why it's there. So I'm not sure. I don't know. So maybe the next time we haul out, maybe we'll see about maybe drilling a hole or something in that forward part of the keel and drain that all out, and then maybe we can fill that with something. I'm not sure. I'll have to talk to an expert, but I certainly don't want that big void filling up with water that I can't move. That makes no sense to me. Anyway, so yeah, and then we worked a bit on the Jeanne put 3 or 4 more coats of primer on the aft head bulkhead, and I was able to complete the aft head fairing, and I started and almost finished the shower compartment, and I ran out of Bondo. So I have to get some more of that to finish that compartment up, and then we'll be able to sand and all that, and get some paint on those walls, and then we'll move on to the next project, which is removing all the head hardware, sink, faucets, shower, all that stuff, toilet, everything, and get that all cleaned up in there, polished out, and then put some new fixtures back in there, both the forward and the aft head. Okay, well, thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. I'm glad you tuned in. Hope you enjoyed this episode. It's a good thing it's not smell vision. It's pretty stinky down there with the Bondo smell, and then the smell of that bilge water. When I started moving that, ooh, that was terrible. But anyway, again, thank you for watching. If you aren't a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Just hit the subscribe button, and then make sure you hit the little notification bell so that whenever I post something new, you'll get a notification that we have new content out there. And you know, please, if you would, I'd appreciate it if you could share these videos with family, friends, acquaintances, whoever, and help us to grow this channel. We'd like to do that. Also, if you like the content, give us a thumbs up. And if you have any comments, please have some comments. Make some comments. Leave some comments in the comments section. We love to hear from you. And you know, we answer all the comments regardless. And so we would love to hear from you. So please leave a comment. And I guess that'll do it. So from the crew of Thunder, fair winds and following seas. Bye.